on Saturday. He said to be responding to treatment. Let's speak to our southern... when something happens to Nelson Mandela and he's taken into hospital, it causes, of course, a wave. Good morning to you. When something happens to Nelson Mandela and he's taken into hospital, it causes, of course, a wave of concern, not just across South Africa. The Archbishop of Wales has criticised government plans to ban the Church in Wales and the Church of England from offering same-sex marriages. Bus services across much of England are deteriorating because of funding cuts, according to a report by a transport campaign group. According to a report by a transport campaign group.
Ravi Shankar has died at the age of 92. Died at the age of 92.
Birthday. You're turning 12 today.
Of course, this is just testing the microphone. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Marvellous. Thank you very much for those. 11 minutes past 8. Carol will have the weather in about 5 minutes' time. I should tell you this morning, 70 flights have been cancelled at Heathrow Airport this morning because of fog. Carol.
She'll continue with her footballing career, so it's not, she's not saying that because she's had a baby she's going to stop playing. Absolutely not that.
Who were never naturally sports people.
Yeah.
It wasn't until having children that I actually got into doing some regular exercise and doing regular sports. So actually there can be something about having, not talking about elite athletes, but still in general, because that's what you're looking at, isn't it?
And actually, you are not,
who were never naturally sports people.
yeah.
It wasn't until having children that I actually got into doing some regular exercise and doing regular sports. So actually there can be something about having, not talking about elite athletes, but still in general, because that's what you're looking at, isn't it?
And actually, you are not,
who were never naturally sports people.
yeah.
It wasn't until having children that I actually got into doing some regular exercise and doing regular sports. So actually there can be something about having, not talking about elite athletes, but still in general, because that's what you're looking at, isn't it?
And actually, you are not.
It says it has successfully launched a rocket carrying a satellite and putting it into orbit.
Now, obesity is expected to cost the NHS £50 billion a year by 2050. So it's no surprise that special clinics have been set up to deal with the problem.
One of the busiest is in Sunderland, where 4...
Talk to you then. You went into hospital and had surgery. What did you have and what effect has it had?
what, the last option?
Yes, it's the last result.
Horse.
Ooh. I mean, in the Sunderland area and in this day and age, it does have to be tackled not just on a local basis in the North East, but on a wider scale.
Because Anne Diamond said we're in an obesogenic society.
And you can see the programme Weight Loss War, ITV1 tonight, 8 o'clock.
We've been talking this morning about our reluctance to confront antisocial behaviour when it's happening in public. How would you react if someone had broken into your home and you discovered them?
Yeah, well.
Jennifer, thank you so much.
9 minutes to 9.
Should we find out what the weather is doing? It's causing some disruption this morning. I think, Carol, there's a lot of fog about, isn't there?
Right, Carol, thanks very much.
Now, when you go to see a school nativity play, you'd obviously expect to see Mary and Joseph and a couple of kings and a shepherd and a host of angels, possibly. What about an American tour?
Very much.
Now, when you go to see a school nativity play, you'd obviously expect to see Mary and Joseph and a couple of kings and a shepherd and a host of angels, possibly. What about an American tour? An astronaut and a couple of pizzas?
Let's try to tell the traditional story with a modern twist.
So in a moment we're going to discuss whether that's the right way to bring these stories alive to children and their parents, and whether...
So we've been discussing campanology this morning. Somebody emailed in to say it might be the study of carry-on films.
It's actually the correct term for the... New research suggests it's also a good way of keeping fit. Jim Muffet is with some campanologists and chefs.
Super. Yes. We've got a Christmas treat, really, because
We have.
Brendan O'Carroll. You weren't sure you were going to get here.
No, I wasn't sure I was going to get here.
Sure you were going to get here.
No, I wasn't sure I was going to get here. We've really been maybe about 500 yards. That's just been snowed on. Out of
Just
nowhere.
a 500-yard section.
Yeah.
And the bit that you were in?
Well, we were stuck.
Welcome back.
I don't think our next guest would be offended if we said many of you might be more used to seeing him wearing a floral frock and a short curly wig.
Yes, and one of those nice, thick cardigans.
Oh,
bright
he
colours.
was one of those this morning.
Comedian Brendan Welcome back.
I don't think our next guest would be offended if we said many of you might be more used to seeing him wearing a floral frock and a short curly wig.
Yes, and one of those nice, thick cardigans.
Oh,
bright
he
colours.
was one of those this morning.
Come, Mrs. Brown's Boys.
The show is only into its second series.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. You're in very clearly in front of a live audience, because we see the camera crews and the audience at the beginning. So there's
A month in advance. Her husband was a retired painter, so they had a ladder. But you'd have to knock at the door and say, Mr. Doug, we have a ladder. And not to...
there's always maintained that Edna Everage, or we should say Dame Edna,
Dame.
was a person in her own right, and actually you would never see, well, obviously you wouldn't see the two together, but the set is available now, and Brendan's For the Love of Mrs. Brown tour begins again. In March. Yes, it does. UK.
That's all from us this morning. Breakfast back from 6 o'clock tomorrow with singing quartet Il Divo performing live.
And Billy Tet as well.
Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing today. Thanks for your company. Bye-bye.
Bye.